So I guess we're going to start. Hi everyone, my name is Ioana.
And I'm Anne.
And you may wonder why we are presenting here together today. As it turns out, we are both aspiring medical professionals, and we're also roommates. And we simultaneously thought of the idea of writing a children's book. So we have it with us here today after a year-long process of creating and revising it.
Specifically, we wanted to tackle a typical doctor's visit from a child's perspective. You can see our main characters, Ellie and her favorite toy, Leo the lion, as they hug each other. Here we have pages 2 and 3 of our story.
Leo, I have some bad news. We are going to the doctor for our yearly checkup. Leo, what if I need a shot? Then you would need one too.
Unlike other children's books that take the third-person perspective, we wanted to show feelings rather than just tell you about them. So we used a comic book-style dialogue in order to tell our story, and also a popular concept called mindfulness. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is purposefully paying attention to what is happening in the present moment without getting carried away by other thoughts. The key is to pay attention purposefully and without judgment.
So there are 3 main aspects to mindfulness. There is awareness, acceptance, and the present moment. And these aspects of mindfulness are used in clinical settings currently to treat chronic and mental conditions like ADHD, anxiety, and diabetes. And this is happening in both adults and adolescents, but not children. So we thought, why not use aspects of mindfulness in a children's book to provide an example of positive behavior that children can emulate when they're faced with a fear-inducing situation or an anxiety situation, like going to the doctor.
The book is a collaboration with our advisor, Dr. Karen Jacobs, who is an occupational therapist and a clinical professor in Sargent College. She has authored more than 14 children's books. Our illustrations were created by Joyce who is a BU student. She brought Ellie and Leo to life with her amazing artwork, so both of them are sitting right there. In creating this book, we asked 2 big questions. First, how can we incorporate mindfulness into children's literature? And second, how can we use mindful techniques to assuage the fear of going to the doctor?
So in this sample page from our book, Ellie's mom tells her,
Ellie, it's time to get dressed. We don't want to be late for your appointment.
If you think back to when you were younger, let's say like 6 years old, can you recall how you felt when you had to go to the doctor? Maybe you felt happy or excited or okay or sad. We asked this precise question to children in a survey between the ages of 5 and 9 years old. So we had 61 survey responses from children in our families, our friends' families, and from pediatric clinics that we had connection to. We included images to depict typical medical procedures that you can see on the screen so that children could actually answer the questions independently from their parents.
Because we wanted to make the story relatable, we asked, how do you feel when you have to go to the doctor? While many feel okay, a good number of children, 22 specifically, were sad and scared. We decided to incorporate most of these emotions in our book. Here you can see that Ellie experiences the most common emotions from our survey throughout her visit at the doctor. At the same time, Leo reflects Ellie's feelings as a way to validate her experience. You can see the range of expressions from happy to scared on the screen.
So to determine what would be the root of Ellie's fear in our book right now, we also asked in the survey, what scares you at the doctor's office? Now, we weren't surprised to find that 55 of the 61 children who responded were scared of shots, as you can see in the bar graph, and we have to admit we're still scared of them too. So we decided to make this the central challenge in our book. The images that you see on their screen are non-consecutive, but they're both from the moment when Dr. Joy has to give Ellie a vaccine. So Dr. Joy says, I know you don't like shots, but you will need one today. It will keep you well.
Ellie responds, will the shot hurt? We asked a third question to determine the coping mechanisms most used by children. If you feel scared or nervous, what makes you feel better? The answer choices we provided were based on an article that researched coping mechanisms in hospitalized children. more than 50% of children who responded to our surveys answered parents, so we knew we had to incorporate parental support in our story. We were able to include other factors, such as a safety toy like Leo the lion, as well as happy thoughts. Ellie, for example, follows her mom's guided imagery as she thinks about stars when she receives her shot. She also pinches Leo to simulate the shot as a way to prepare for the real thing. In the third image, Dr. Joy asks, "Ready?"
Wait, what about Leo? I think he needs a shot too.
Would you like to be Leo's doctor?
So we included aspects of mindfulness like awareness, acceptance, and focusing on the present moment, in that I mentioned before that through breathing exercises and guided imagery, especially by her mother. We show awareness in that a shot will be given, and the truth is it may hurt a little bit. And we show acceptance through a validation that it's okay to be scared. Even Dr. Joy was scared when she had to go to the doctor. Lastly, Ellie and her mom focus on the present moment through a breathing exercise in the consultation room, which is pictured here. Ellie's mom says,
"We relax our bodies and calm our hearts. We are grateful for our doctor's love and care. We are happy to be here together."
This is an example of a mindful breathing exercise. We hope to show an example of mindful techniques in the book, and this is one of the techniques that we're showing through Ellie and Leo's story as they're actually at the doctor. We hope that children actually reading the book in the waiting room or in the consultation room see Ellie and Leo and are able to overcome their fear through acceptance and bravery, just like Ellie did.
Here is the cover of our book. Our story ultimately follows Ellie and her favorite toy, Leo, as they visit the doctor for their yearly checkup. They both feel nervous because of the vaccine, but are comforted by positive imagery, happy thoughts, and supportive characters. Together, they learn how to be brave as they use mindfulness and understand that challenges are easier when you are with someone you love.
So we also hope that Ellie will inspire children to be brave and face their fears. We hope that our book will spur more research for the application of mindfulness, specifically in pediatrics, whether it is towards the experience of seeing the doctor or as a technique for managing mental and behavioral challenges. So we're planning to have the book online through Amazon. We're also planning to donate copies of the book to clinics, to pediatric hospital departments, and also to our libraries at home or here.
We brought 20 copies of the book with us today, so we encourage you to take a copy, especially if you have younger kids with you. We will pass around a copy of our book while we answer questions from you. Thank you. Yeah, just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Questions?
Distracted by images. Yes.
Has this project inspired you to write any future books?
So the question was how has this project inspired us to write more books? What about you? For me,
Yes, we did discuss it.
we did talk about it, but we are going our separate ways. I'll be going to the West Coast, and she'll be staying around here. So we don't really know what the next steps are, but we're hopeful. Yeah.
In the era of technology, it is possible.
Yes.
Yes.
What role did children's books have in your childhoods that made you want to write this book?
Take it away.
For me, I would always read children's books with my parents, and they would always, whenever we read them, like that was the way that I ended my day. And so for me, growing up that way, and also having this opportunity to create this ourselves, I think was something that made me so excited for this project. And so I don't know about your experience with books, but I've also been around some children's book authors as well, and so they've inspired me to do this as well.
And specifically, I know Anne and I both remember certain characters from our childhood in the books, and we hope that Ellie and Leo are remarkable and that you can actually remember them when you have experiences like they're facing. Yes.
Have you gotten the chance to give this book to somebody in the age group that you first surveyed?
Not yet. We actually got these copies. They're 20 20 copies for today are the first kind of fresh off the press, but we are going to do that very soon. Once we order the next batch, we're going to hand them out. Yes, Professor Preston.
What are the finances of doing this? Does it cost a lot to have the books printed, and are you going to get any income back by selling them in some market?
So the idea is that we're going to put them on Amazon so the book can live there if someone wants to purchase it. But because Kilichan and Boston University invested in our project, we can't make a profit from it. What's going to happen is we're donating as many as we can with the rest of our budget, and on top of that, everything that comes from Amazon will be at cost so that we can make more. And when people buy it, we're just going to put it back into making more, or just buy them ourselves and distribute to where we want them to be. In terms of cost, it's around, I would say it can be from $4 to $5, but it can be adjusted based on Amazon. Yes?
Could you say a little bit about how gender and racial diversity influenced your images and how you were thinking about the story?
You want me to do it? So, first off, the book has a little bit of both of us in it in terms of the mom's role. I think both of our mothers were involved in assuaging our fear of shots. And also having an Asian doctor, both of us want to be doctors. Specifically, I want to be a pediatrician, and keeping that kind of neutrality. The nurse, we haven't. Did we show an image?
No, we did
of
not.
Nurse Kind. He's a male. He's a black male, and for me that was important because at Boston Medical Center, where I got the idea of mindfulness, where I research right now, the pediatrics department is very diverse in terms of nurse and staff in general. So I wanted to show that in the book, and even our advisor, Dr. Karen Jacobs, who has previous books, she wants to include black fathers, for example, that are not frequently included in children's books. So I think keeping that diversity is something we don't think about, but we wanted to put it out there.
And as for the Asian doctor, we're aware that less than 10% of all children's books have Asian characters, so we wanted to portray that as well. Okay, one more question, yeah.
What was the reaction that you've received so far from practitioners?
We haven't reached out yet. I have reached out to Boston Medical Center, to someone that will connect me to the pediatrics department right now, and she loved the book. And she liked the fact that we're looking at things around getting the shot itself, also in terms of mindfulness and in terms of preparing for it. But we hope it's going to be a positive reaction when the time comes.
Yeah, and I'll also be bringing several with me to the West Coast.
Yep.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.